do, what the business is.
It is another week in the books with the On Deck TV podcast. I am Spike Lou.
Man, holla at your boy Animal Brown, Animal_Brown, if you're looking for me on socials.
Absolutely. And I am Spike Lou on them same social sites. We back at it again. How you feeling out there, AB?
Feeling good, feeling great. 80 degrees last weekend, give or take a degree.
Yes.
Sun is out.
Sun is out. Buns is out. Mask is off. COVID is, what is that? Was there
COVID.
even such a thing as COVID?
COVID was 10 years ago now.
COVID went to Ukraine, dude, and we don't know what happened. Just it all got jumbled up together.
Man, speaking of back outside, these album releases are starting to trickle out here. This first one is Pusha T's new album that we will be reviewing. Also, speaking of back outside, Cameron has a 20th anniversary show for Come Home With Me. We're going to talk a little bit about that. And Future says he wants a meal for a show, and Snoop wants a quarter meal for the feature. We're going to talk which one of those is more realistic. But first, my guy kicks off the headlines again. DaBaby in the news twice this weekend or this week. Once for video surfacing of him having an altercation with his artist backstage at what looked to be a show. And then again, when Rolling Stone obtained footage of his 2018 Wal-mart shooting, the infamous Wal-mart shooting that left someone dead. Of course, that case has been dismissed, but do you think with these two videos, especially the Walmart video, is this the straw that breaks the camel's back on his public perception?
Yeah, I think this pretty much does it. And this is probably going to sound like a moot point coming from me because I've been saying this for the last year and a half, 2 years. I actually thought that the concert thing at the festival did it. He bounced back from that. I don't think that DaBaby is that big of a star for people to continuously put up with this. Like every time you turn around, there's the meme online about his PR team with Mekhi Phife smoking the cigarettes. It's like every day is something. And eventually I feel like that people are just going to be like, dude, who cares? Because it ain't like it's Drake. It ain't like it's Wayne 04. It ain't like he's bringing something to the table that can't easily be replaced, in my opinion. And that's that part of it from a business standpoint. From a standpoint of me being a fan, and the reason that I don't like DaBaby and the reason that I see it being like the straw that breaks the camel's back is because clearly he doesn't appreciate this. Like clearly you don't give a fuck about like your fans' longevity, being here for a long time, because continuously you put yourself in a position where it's in someone else's hands to take it away from you. React to, like, how are you in constant reaction mode? Like, how is that possible for someone who's made it to the position that you've made it in, that you still, after all these years of success, are in reaction mode? Like, that's part of the things that come with getting money and getting success. You can like see shit coming. You can forecast it. I ain't got to be in reaction mode. I'm a boss. I know how this shit finna play out. I ain't got to spring on a nigga that worked for me backstage. I sent that nigga home with nothing because he was on the road with me. I ain't got to hit him in his jaw for him to get the impact to understand the role that I play. So I just think it's getting old. People are going to start looking at it. It's getting old. It's too many more artists. Like you said, we're coming up on a month of heat here. Fact. And you're not going to be able to continuously make headlines with shit like this. It's going to be the music.
I agree. And listen, lately it's just been the headlines and it hasn't been the records. I would say that good music washes this out, but he has to put that out first. And he doesn't have that right now. It'd be one thing if he had a hit on the radio, but he doesn't. It'd be one thing if he had a mixtape that was banging, but he doesn't, or an album or anything, any type of material to show that he's, you know what I'm saying, he's still worth this attention. The more attention that you get in this light with the less amount of music, the more people are going to start paying, like stop paying attention to you. And it's cool that people turn it into memes and they got the jokes and all that. And that's the cycle of social media. Before you get tired of it, you'll get the jokes off. And then once people are over with the jokes and the memes aren't funny no more because it's literally happening every week, then he's going to fade away, dude. He needs a hit in the worst way right now for summertime coming up. He needs a hit bad. You know what I'm saying? And I don't mean the hit that he just tried to do on his artist, which I thought was strange, bro. I still don't know what that was about. I would love to hear to get some understanding. But the artist looked like he was ready for it though. Like he kind of saw it coming. Like he was. There clearly had been something before that where them two niggas got into it. I don't know what the baby tried to do.
Wisdom. His name is Wisdom or something like that.
Yeah, his name is Wisdom, and I remember him being in the headlines for being locked up for attempted murder. He got arrested for attempted murder not too long ago. And so I was surprised, number one, that his name was Wisdom. Number two, that he was out. So that's what stuck out when I saw the video. But I tell you what, though, if there was one nigga that was ready for that shit, it was him. Like, he wanted all the smoke.
He wanted all the smoke. And it ended up being a gun charge, I think, that he had. And that gun charge had something to do with Baby. Like, those are the details that had to do with it. So, again, like you said, dude was ready for the smoke.
Yeah, he had the right one right there.
I don't know if it's little man's complex or what that DaBaby is suffering from. And I always say this, and I'm halfway joking, but I'm halfway serious. Any nigga that's willing to walk around in South by Southwest in that baby diaper with Jordans on at the beginning of his career is no telling what he's liable to do.
That's a fact.
And I'm talking about that video. The video from Wal-mart, like, that tells a whole different story. He done got off of this, so he ain't got to worry about going to jail about it. But I'm talking about on the level that this dude operate on DaBaby. If I'm Drake and I seen that video, like, am I taking the call to do the song? If I'm like a big dog, like, am I associating myself with him at all after all of this shit that I see? Like, I'm not taking a phone call, doing a feature or verse for you. Like, you already fucking up the church money.
Yeah.
And you supposed to be on that level. He calls himself a superstar. So I find it strange that, like, all of this shit keep happening to him. He allows it to keep happening to him, and he takes this shit for granted like he do. That's strange as hell to me.
Yeah, if I'm Drake, and there's no need. The juice ain't worth the squeeze in this particular instance. But I will say the Walmart video, I think people are overreacting a little bit, in my opinion, to the Walmart video because the headline was, "This didn't happen as he said it." You know what I'm saying? That's kind of the narrative that I saw. And that's not completely true. I think in the video, you see the two guys come up to him, and he does seem to swing on one of them first, from what you can see. But then you see the other guy he pulls the gun out, but then he puts it back in his hip, and then the camera angle switches around, and then you see DaBaby kind of stumble a little bit, then pull the gun out and shoot. But you don't see who he shoots. Obviously, we know who it was. I think number one, let's not act like the police haven't already seen this. Let's not act like the court hasn't. Let's not act like just because we saw it now doesn't mean everybody else didn't know that it existed. And two, I think what helped him or what saved him in this situation is that the person that did get shot was the one that had the gun. It wasn't the one that he was fighting with in the initial part of the video. So I think that where he implied that it was self-defense, the video.
The person who had the gun is not the person that he fought.
Correct. The guy that he swung on was not the guy with the gun. And they were just together.
Right.
And the guy that he swung on, while he was tussling, the other guy that he was with pulled the gun out of his pants. And then he put it back, and then he tucked it back in. That was on camera. And then off camera, when DaBaby shoots, he shot the guy who had the gun initially. So and he could say, the nigga pulled the gun out and was finna shoot me. I mean, you can say whatever. If a nigga pull a gun out on you, man, nobody's gonna wait to get shot to be like, this was self-defense. Like, nigga, things have escalated quickly at that point. And I don't want to talk about this like we on some Sports Center, like ESPN play-by-play, because somebody did lose their life. Condolences to the family. They got to relive this shit all over again. That's trash. But you know what I'm saying? So I don't want nobody to think we taking that shit lightly. Just giving perspective as to some people who are questioning that's not what he said in the video, and how could he have beat that in XYZ?
Absolutely. And that's a great point that you bring up. First and foremost, condolences to the family. To the point of people disagreeing and saying, how could he get off? Because when you think about self-defense, and it's just like with Ray Rice, when you see the video, that video is different. Because that video, what I would ask you, did that look like self-defense to you?
With DaBaby?
Yeah, it really, like, it could be like you don't know.
Only see half though. That's the thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So people, I think that's the problem when we talk about this every week or every time he's in the news. If I got all of that information and then this comes out, I'm no longer giving you the benefit of the doubt. It looked like you killed a nigga in Walmart based off everything else that I know about you. If this was the first time that I seen you in a video, I'd give you the benefit of the doubt and be like, yeah, that could have been self-defense. Some niggas could have been following him. It could have been whatever. Cool. Yeah. Because now, after everything that you've done, I got to look at it with a grain of salt and be like, I don't know, man. The nigga staying some shit. Ain't no telling what happened. Like you've allowed my mind to wander. And that's the problem that you have continuously going into being in these scenarios. And why I feel like that broke the camel's back.
How wild, real quick though, how wild is it that the camera angle only shows him shooting and doesn't show the other side? And that could have been the end. That nigga could be doing life right now, bro.
That's what money do. That's good ass lawyers and good ass
money, divine intervention, whatever you want to call it, dude. Because the angle you can't see because of the shelving.
I tell you what, that the recording is there somewhere. That's what money do. Like it's magically disappeared, and like you said, ain't no angle now. Because it's DaBaby and it's a whole lot of money.
Well, he was in 2018. He wasn't DaBaby then, though, bro.
Yeah, the label was still backing him though. They needed him to be DaBaby, right? Like there were. He had enough money to make this go away, especially against the niggas that he was. And I also feel like again, someone lost their life here. Condolences to their family, but this is a leverage play as well. Then he had enough money to make this go away. The reason that we see this video now, like you said, it ain't new to the police. Right. This had to be a part of the discovery and shit. It wasn't admitted in court, I don't think. I'm not sure. But now the leverage goes over to a civil suit when they see this video and public perception is out here. Like, how are you going to find somebody that's going to decide that DaBaby doesn't owe these people money? Based off everything that they know about him now and this video out in the public, who gonna sit there and decide, well, how is he gonna take the court or trial or however civil suits are decided? No one, a judge, nobody is gonna be like, nah, I think I'm gonna decide with you. Like they gonna make him pay up.
That's true.
Leverage is lost, boss.
That's true.
Yes, sir. So moving on, talking about leverage and being lost, man, your man's, this used to be your favorite band member, not Chopper Styles. I wanted to say that so
Chopper
bad. Chopper City. I wanted to say Chopper Styles so bad. He was right on the super hot song. But your man Chopper from the band was arrested in Vegas this past weekend for what? Sex trafficking. Crazy. My question to you, as a whole, everyone with all the headlines that we've seen from the band, would these people have been better off if they never met Puff and not took the opportunity on making the band?
Man, it damn sure seems like it. Hindsight is 2020, of course.
Nobody's in the music game.
Yeah, well, the only one that's close is Babs. Babs does a battle rap thing in New York. That's actually, from what I've heard, is pretty successful. It's like I think she runs like a somebody listening listens to battle rap and is probably screaming at us right now. But I think she runs like a circuit of some type of or league of some sort that's supposed to be doing pretty well.
That's dope.
With the exception of her. I think the R&B girl that was there, I think she sells like makeup or something now. But listen, if you're not on social media losing your mind or getting arrested, then it's a W. Because that's what Chopper and Freddie P are going through right now. And you hate to see it. But I thought this was interesting. I remember Chopper, I don't know how I came across his IG a long time ago, but I seen he was in Vegas. And I was thinking to myself, and he looked to be eating good. You know what I'm saying? Like he had the whips and I was like, okay, and we always look at people. We're not pocket watching, but you got to think, you always kind of wonder, like, I'm interested in business. So I'm always like, yo, how is somebody whose rap career is long gone still successful? Like, I wonder what they're into. And I didn't always think that, but that crossed my mind when I saw him. And so this is interesting, even though the way he got arrested, he reached out to somebody on Instagram. It turned out to be an undercover cop, but they were an undercover sex worker or whatever. So the details kind of fishy.
That's not justify that.
It just didn't seem like a lot though.
It's nuts. It was nuts. So there was a detective that noticed his Instagram, just like you said that you did. Mm-hmm. And they noticed it looked a little fishy because of the ads that he had and the women and shit and the money.
Yeah.
So that detective or investigator, they reached out to him via DM and acted like they were interested in joining his stable. So he went back and forth with him, acted like, well, detective, I don't know if it was a man or a woman, went back and forth with Chopper, acted like they was going to meet him somewhere so they could join the stable. And he was like, well, bring $5,000 so you can be a part of my crew. And then we're going to start getting this money. and they arrested him based off the text messages and based off the Instagram and based off previous something that he was sex
That
trafficking.
don't seem like a lot. I'm gonna be real. That don't seem like a lot. I'm gonna be real. That don't seem like a lot. That doesn't seem like a rock solid case, bro. I'm gonna be honest.
The sex trafficking thing is misleading.
That's what I'm saying.
misleading.
They made it
He's
seem
not
like he had girls locked up in the crib.
Yeah, that's nuts. That's what I thought. Like even with the picture was nuts as far as the what's it with the shot, the mug shot, that was nuts.
Yeah.
But it sounded like he was internet pimping and he'd been doing it for a while. Somebody caught wind of it, told on him, and ran him high. Yeah, here we are. The sex trafficking headline is nuts. And it is misleading. And again, not to say what he's doing is right, but
right.
A lot of those women chose to. I mean, I guess they chose up. That's what Pimp saying.
I have no idea.
Oh,
his mugshot is insane, though.
Mugshot is crazy. It make it look like he was sex trafficked.
That's
what the mugshot looks like.
That's a fact.
That's petty. Like that, because that's what made me even consider it in production to put this in here. Like, damn, mugshot is wow. What was this nigga doing? And then I'm reading it. I'm like, he got shucked. Yeah, he was shucking it out, but he got shucked.
That's because prostitution is legal in Vegas, but you have to have.
That's probably why he based out of there. And then I think these people that were investigating were somewhere else. I'm not sure.
Yeah, they were like Maryland or some shit.
Yeah, see, and then they were supposed to meet somewhere else because he was supposed to meet them somewhere and get the money, and that's probably how they got him.
Yeah. Charlotte. They were supposed to meet in Charlotte. $2,000 fee, be part of his state to pay to be a part of his stable.
That is like what?
Yo, this is wild, bro. That's wild.
Chopper better off than I thought he was, to be honest with you. If he has hoes that paid him $2,000 and was out here tricking for him,
that's
nuts to me.
Chopper? I don't know. Shout out to the other members though. I don't know what Dylan at. He been low.
What was the other dude named? Fred Neff?
Elliot Ness.
Jesus.
I don't know what he got going on. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all know if the on deckers out there know where Fred Ness. So it was Fred Ness, Sarah Babs.
Yep. Chopper. Yep.
Nailed it.
The album wasn't that bad either.
The album was not that bad.
It was. No, he just tweeted.
It seems like that they went through a lot for this, man.
That's true.
It seems like to get to this point, to get to a point where he's locked up for sex trafficking, pimping, and where we seen Freddie at, it just seems like it was a lot to go through to get here. I would expect them to be here.
I know Sarah had a whole bunch of shit with her husband, like some wild shit.
I remember that kind
of they probably just all need counseling if we keep it in the band because they were young, bro. Like they were young when they were going through that shit with Puff as TV. They were regular. When you take somebody regular and you got them, you throw them in front of TV,
change their life.
Yep. Hey, bro, it could fuck with your brain. They in New York, man. Most of them wasn't even from New York, bro. That's a whole no. You know how it be when you visit New York, nigga. That shit be wild, nigga. You looking like, man, what the fuck?
So got PTSD.
They probably need help, bro. Some real shit.
Yeah.
Jeez. Next up, man, your man's Future is on a mean promo run right now. He's been tweeting his ass off these last couple of days in preparation for his new album dropping Friday. One of the tweets, he said, quote, "How many trap niggas you know can get a meal a show? Hashtag I'm that nigga." Also, Snoop Dogg recently spoke about his feature price. It's going to cost you 250 bands if you want a 16 from Snoop D-O-double-G. My question, the million a show for Future or 250K for Snoop, which one of these is more believable?
250K for Snoop. It's not even close either. And if we're talking about recouping your money, I'm paying 250 for Snoop way before I pay $1 million for a Future. So that's a festival price. Okay. That's like if Rolling Loud calls me, then yes, it's $1 million. But
or like a PWI,
Coachella,
like Harvard.
Yeah, Coachella, Harvard, Vanderbilt.
Right. You taxing them for sure.
Then that's $1 million fee.
Yeah.
And again, I guess Future can say that because those are the places that he's showing up now. Like he ain't doing what or stadiums, or is he? What's Future considered? Would you consider him a stadium artist? He's not doing like large venues anymore.
Yeah, nah.
It's gotta
He's
be
at the
stadium
point
or
where
better.
he's at the point where he doesn't have to he doesn't have to tour every weekend. He can do that one show at Vanderbilt University for that meal ticket, and he can chill for a minute.
Arenas.
He ain't
That's
got to
what I was trying to
grind.
think of. Yeah, he's an arena artist.
Yeah, there you go.
Like
There you go.
he's
Yeah.
arena or better. Yeah. So for an arena or better meal or show, like that's it ain't hard to believe, but it's misleading saying that because I think a lot of people thinking if Future gonna show up at your local club for an after party and get $1 million, and that's definitely not happening.
Absolutely not.
No sense of the word. But on the other hand, though, we're talking about like we say in business and recouping your money. Like, how often do you see Snoop on a feature? Hell yeah, I got 250. Like a Snoop Dogg feature.
Right.
Yes, I got 250 for you. Come on with that today, tomorrow, and yesterday. Like Snoop been in the game. We always talk about how he's considered maybe the most popular rapper ever. I do think a verse from the most popular rapper ever can go for 250, if not more. Like that's maybe $1 million verse right there, and he ain't got to rip it or nothing just to say, oh, I got a song with Snoop. Like it's a lot of people that can't like say that. So yeah. I'm going for the 250 Snoop verse.
There's a reason that we don't see many Snoop features. It's because he charges $250,000 a feature. That's why we don't see many of them, dude.
Rightfully so.
And if I'm Snoop and I got all this shit I got going on, I don't want to have to be sitting here doing niggas features every other day. So I'm going to make my price sky high. So then if I do get the call for a feature, it's worth my time, which I can respect. I'm not mad at that. Snoop is an OG. He is trying to build a label. He's trying to build Def Jam and fucking Def Row at the same time. He's probably working on Martha and Snoop season 5. He's probably like there's a gang of shit that he's working on. And he's got his own compound, like the Big Boy Studio in LA, bro. Like he's not moving for less than 250. That's basically what he was saying.
Yeah,
I'm not moving for less than 250,000, and even at that point, I have options to still say, "Nah, I'm good." Yeah, and I ain't mad at that.
And that's like industry standard. Like I'm the best. He's saying I'm like the best in my industry. I don't give a fuck what you talking about with bars or who's hot right now. Since 1993, I've been consistently Snoop Dogg. Like that's ain't true. No motherfucking mistakes about this. So yeah, 250 is like that's absolutely, nigga. However much the hottest person is charging right now, Snoop should call and check every year and be like, I want 100,000 more. Just because I'm Snoop, motherfucker.
that's post-pandemic prices too.
Thanks. Absolutely. So yeah, I didn't see that. Maybe we old. I want a younger person to comment what they would say about that.
That inflation done hit the features. God damn.
Big facts. All right. Next, we got your man, Killer Cam, Harlem's own. Recently scrolling through the IG streets and seeing this coming up. There's a Come Home With Me 20th anniversary show, Animal Brown. This is in Harlem. It's going to be at the Apollo.
Yeah.
Fire. I got a question for you. What 2002 album would you have an anniversary concert for?
First of all, let me be clear. Me and the wife bought tickets to this show because they were supposed to go on sale, I think last Friday at like 6. But when I came across the image, I didn't notice that it said 6 o'clock. So I went straight to the ticket thing at about 4 and they were available. So we bought tickets because we was finna hit that shit because believe it or not, tickets to New York from Atlanta, flights are dumb cheap right now for whatever reason. I don't know why.
That.
Yeah, that's what I said. Flights, stupid cheap. Yeah, go anywhere else in the world right now. For some reason, it's 3 times the ticket. But go to New York, nigga, it's like $80. It's retarded. So
that's funny.
Nigga, we was like, "Are we in there then? Cool, bet." I done text Rizzo, shout out my folks around. I like, "Yo, we pulling up." Man, she get the email confirmation for the tickets, and it says in New York you have to show proof of vaccination to get into the fucking what's name. And I was like, kiss my ass. And you have to have
anywhere you go in.
I think it was 14. You have to show proof of it, and it's got to be 14 days or 14 or 21 days in advance. I forgot which one it was. And
you gotta have a test or you to be vaccinated.
No, you have to be vaccinated, not a positive test.
Test, not the test. Damn.
Exactly. So
that's why Kyrie couldn't play.
Right. So New York is apparently the last place in the world that still has like actual restrictions on COVID shit. But that killed me. So we had to get a refund on the tickets. Anyway, with that being said, I'm hot about that because I really wanted to go to that shit. If I had to pick a 2002 album, I would go just coming off of this Pusha T, I would go Clips. Their debut album came out, Lord Willing. And that would be dope because number one, the album is fire. But then also having him and Malice and hearing what Malice did on this, what's his name? He clearly hasn't lost a step. But seeing a one night only Lord Willing Clips, that shit would be fire. And I think I would go to that. I fuck with that.
I definitely would love to be in the house. I thought the tickets going to New York were a lot more expensive than that, so I might check it out. That may be fire right there.
Yeah, I'm hot. I wanted to go bad as fuck.
That's gonna be a dope show. Harlem gonna be in the building. It's gonna be real New York like, man. That's a good idea. And as I look through the list here, there are a lot of options I could have went. The Boosie Badass could have did that.
Oh my God.
Did the Eminem show. Would sit there and went to sleep if I wanted to get snooze fest. Or I could have did my guy Nelly. Nellyville came out this year. Just 2 hours full of hits. I wanted to go hit. But my speed right now for the where I'm at in my life and what I want to hear is easily the Fix Scarface. Yeah. Intimate setting.
That'll be
hard.
Do
it in Houston. Like at a Hard Rock Cafe. We might even talked about this on here before, but
we might have.
Yeah, like 100-200 venue, Scarface talking in between the sets, live band. Oh my God. Take my money, dude. I ain't gotta worry about my sneakers getting dirty. Good. We can sit down, order food, maybe. Maybe they got some fire little wings or something. All of that, dude. But that would be fire to me, just having him go through that whole album, start to finish, the Fix 5 mic album, one of the what was it? One of the last, right?
Yeah, one of them.
Relatively close to the end of the source, but one of the last 5 mics album. That would be a home run for me. Perfect night.
What about Jay Blueprint 2 though? What if he was like, this is my most underrated album. I'm doing a one night only 20-year anniversary Blueprint 2. Not even on a stadium shit, but kind of like how he did the B-side shit.
It'd have to come to Atlanta. I ain't going to see that.
That's fair.
Because now that's the thing. I hadn't checked the ticket prices. Well, excuse me, I hadn't checked the travel prices for that camera. Like I was thinking that because I looked for some shit to LA. Like I said, I was thinking plane tickets just gonna be too high.
I know they smacking going to LA.
Yeah, they smacking to go to LA. Pay your mortgage with an LA plane ticket right now. But yeah, when I say Blueprint 2 for LA, Blueprint 2 for New York, I don't want to buy a ticket for New York, travel, get a room, and do that whole thing. So it have to be in the A as far as the type of album that would be. A sleeper on here, if circumstances did permit, and we didn't frown upon this person, but that Jay-Z R. Kelly anniversary Best of Both Worlds tour, definitely would have tapped into that. Not even just that album, but just the R. Kelly going all the way back to Fiesta, and you get the R. Kelly Jay-Z collab concert, and come on.
Oh yeah, that'd be hard. Yeah, that would have been tough.
That would have been it.
Because the concept of the Best of Both Worlds, because they did the tour, or they tried to.
Exactly.
The concept is it's a go. Right. That's a green light.
If things had projected the way that they were supposed to, and R. Kelly wasn't a sicko, like it would essentially what I guess what Jay-Z and Beyonce do right now, it would basically R. Kelly doing the smashes and Jay-Z doing the smashes, but it would be now 20 years later. So yes, I would be in there. Fuck what the the critics gotta say, dude.
That would have been hard. Hey, what if Cam bring Jay out for that New York City though?
That would be a moment.
That'll be a moment, bro.
I would be mad that I missed it, man. I would be. I would be definitely mad I missed it. Jay ain't showing up. You think Jay will show up for Cam though?
If he did, it'd only be for because that would be a moment, and he knows that. That'll be a moment. I'm talking about that'll make waves.
That will be fire. I would have to see that actually.
And B-Dot gonna be there too, interviewing Cam after the show and shit. So you never know. Oh no, is it B-Dot? It may not be B-Dot. Wayno, my bad. It's Wayno.
Oh, Wayno. B-Dot, you might have had a shot to get Jay.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, Wayno ain't gonna get Jay enough. Shout out to Wayno.
All right, man. Like I said, I would check out that Clips. I would pull up to that, man. If it was in Virginia Beach, I would definitely pull up to that. And speaking of Clips, your man Pusha T.
Sleeper though. A sleeper is that Project Pat Land SmackDown.
Nah, I ain't going to that.
Get shot at nothing.
I'll go to that Nas Lost tapes before I go to that.
It's gonna be live in that Project Padland and Snack Down. You crazy?
No,
You talking about you
sir.
gonna want to be in there? Wear some old shoes though.
Yes.
You know, wear some Black Forces. You
Nah,
wear
my
some
God.
Black Forces, and there you gonna be on. Fit right in.
Hey, that's what, Project Pat would probably say that. He'd be like, "Yo, the dress code is all black forces,
Black
nigga."
Forces, nigga. All
That'd
black
actually be kind of
everything,
hard.
nigga.
I wouldn't go, but that'd be hard. Pusha T, man, it's almost dry. His album is out. Man, let's get straight to it. We all know who Pusha T is. What were your expectations going into this? Considering we've been waiting on King Push for what feels like 20 years now.
Is this replacing King Push, or is it that still a
Yes.
concept, or is this scratched it? What happened? You know?
Yeah, this basically replaced it.
Ah, okay. I was ready for this, man. Based off that Daytona album and how much I liked that and everything that went on with he and Aubrey, I was ready for it. Wanted to hear it. I thought that he would be in this bag. Knew that Kanye was producing half. Knew that Pharrell was producing the other half. I was ready for it. I thought that my guy Sam hit me up and he was like, "Man, what have you been listening to? I'm looking for some rap with just substance, something that'll stick to you." Not just no popcorn shit. And I said, well, just wait. Because
Yep.
Friday it'll be here. And that's what I was expecting with Pusha T. What were you expecting?
Yeah, man, we've been waiting what seems like forever and a day for this Pusha T. The last joint was the 7-piece, the Daytona, which was fire. Grammy nominated too, Daytona.
Yep. Could have
Um,
won.
yeah, nah, that's that one. That's that shit. And we know what Pusha T can do. And then when at first it was all Kanye beats, and then it was all Pharrell beats when Kanye was running for president. And now we kind of got the best of both worlds, half and half, kind of like a versus. It's almost like a versus between these two niggas on the beats.
Facts.
So I was that when it finally was settled that it was half and half, that was the best case scenario. I was like, okay, like now this nigga really showing out. So I was super duper ready for this. And I ain't gonna lie, on first listen, man. I thought that shit was banging. Like I first listen, it grabbed me out the gate. Like it was exactly what I was looking for. Pusha T, we know what he's here to talk about. You can tell by the title, it's almost dry. You can tell by the packaging of the merch, what he's on, what he's still on, what his branding is. And he doesn't stray away from that. But what makes him different is that he does it on a high level. It's on like a luxury level of this type of trap. It's like luxury trap. That's why when you think trap music, you don't think of Pusha T because it's a different, this is luxury trap. You know what I'm saying? Like this is different.
You know what it is?
Talk to me.
There's a difference between the shit that Pusha T talk about. It is luxury. You're right, but there's more to it than that too. And shout out to my guy TK. He hit me up. And he was like, man, this is what you usually hear from people that's in the know when the guy's really on this shit, man. He talking that shit on there.
Right.
And with Pusha T, you hear that a lot. Pusha T gives you more information. So, like, if you don't know what he's talking about, you're gonna miss it. And like what you just said, the basic trap rap shit, niggas are repeating and regurgitating shit they heard other niggas say. But with Pusha T, he talking about shit where you really had to be there, buddy. Like you had to be there. You had to know somebody was there. You had to be in the room to understand, like, God, damn, he talking like, as people say, he talking that shit.
Yeah.
So that just, I agree with you 100%. It is luxury, but he add a little bit more depth to it. He ain't just saying what he heard another rap nigga say. It's like, nah, I was here, buddy. I was in the room, guy.
Yeah.
So just, yeah.
And he's talented enough lyrically to paint that picture clearly.
Yes. And he cold with it.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
And he cold with it.
Exactly.
It ain't ESTG. No disrespect to ESTG and what he do. And that's banging. And he could tell that he talks that shit too. But like you said, he cold with it. Pusha T cold with it.
Yeah. People like artists like ESTG are a little bit more straightforward. You know what I mean? Which is fine. Like you said, there's a place for that too. Pusha T is a little more layered, it's a little more nuanced, it's entendres, and it just he on another level. In listen, the bars are here, the beats are here. I don't know what else you were looking for. Like this is what you were looking for from a Pusha T album. I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. In my opinion,
this is it. Moving on past expectations into first listens. Like you said, when I put it on and I'm listening to the intro and how it come in with Brambleton, it's like, okay, yes, perfect. Glad he didn't try to do this or make this about Drake or nah.
Yeah,
I'm going to
thank
give
God.
you a Pusha T album.
Yep.
And this is exactly what I needed in 2022 from Pusha T. This is like we're talking about the contemporary rap. And here's another reason talking about like, I don't know if it was, I don't know what the numbers looked like, but when you're talking about transcending throughout generations, one of the reasons probably Pusha T has a problem with that, and younger kids really don't listen to him because of what we just talked about in the opening of this. It ain't a lot of regurgitated shit that you're used to with trap music. Right. It's from people that who really are outside, like living that life and know what he's talking about. So a lot of this shit will go over their head, and if it's like a boom bap beat, then they really gonna skip on it because can't regurgitate nothing. But I do think that he did a good job with it. With some of the for real hooks and melodies, and even some of the Kanye shit with the bridges, like he did a good job of cutting it per se with melodies and music too, even if it's raw dope talk.
Yeah, and it's cohesive too. If you were afraid that maybe it'd be crystal clear which one of the beats was Kanye, it'd be crystal clear which ones are for real. It's not that. I mean, you can tell, but it's not. It doesn't distract you from the album though, you know what I'm saying? So I think that was definitely something that I was a little bit afraid of, but he picked the right ones. I'm sure he's probably got leftovers, you know what I'm saying, that he was sifting through, but I think he picked the right joints. And like kind of what you said, like in terms of lyrically and how he paint that picture, it's almost like when you look at a TV show, right? Like if you look at like Breaking Bad, like it's the difference between watching like Fast and the Furious, which is just like explosions and grand shit and just wild shit, and it's just popcorn entertainment, to whereas you watch something that's a little bit more layered, a little bit more nuanced, like Breaking Bad, where something in episode 3 affects something in episode 9, but you really had to be paying attention to even peep it. And then the spinoff is Better Call Saul, and they tying in shit from another series. Like it's like that, like it's layered, like that shit is, dude. Yeah. It's that deep, and like I was fucking with it heavy.
Or if you even compare it to taking your comparison what you said to sports, like it's niggas that can hoop, and then it's like Chris Paul. Exactly. It's like niggas that can hoop, and then it's niggas like LeBron's who like, nah, I really do this, my nigga. I'm out here like 3-4 plays ahead of you.
That's a fact.
And that's what Pusha T is doing. And that ain't for everybody too. Like as I was listening to this, because you know how you do the car ride and you get to zone out and you listen to it. Some of the shit that you catch, like you're like, oh damn, I know it's like 80% of the motherfuckers listening didn't get that. I promise you they did. So, and it's like everybody might not be signing up for that, but that's what it is. It's like that Chris Paul. Like you can watch Chris Paul and you're like, man, they can't dunk. He ain't shooting no, like it ain't Steph Curry.
He ain't Westbrook. He ain't jumping at the gym.
He ain't Westbrook out here, but nah, my nigga, he putting in work out there. You didn't even see what he did 3 plays ago to set this up for that play on the inbound. Like, come on, bro. That's what Pusha T do.
Nah, that's a fact. And looking at what kind of stood out to me, you mentioned Brambleton. I thought that was dope. I thought it was interesting that he mentioned his manager's interview. I don't know if you peeped that. He was talking about the Vlad interview.
Yep.
Yeah, and I watched Pusha T interview with because he's been on his run. He was on Breakfast Club, Charlemagne. He was on Hot 97. He been everywhere, nigga. Late night TV. I watched him on Charlemagne's, just kind of the one-on-one joint, and he talked about how disappointed he was, and his former manager was on Vlad. Right. For people that don't know, about a year or so ago, just kind of. And one of the things that he said was, even though he did say that he pushing them and Malice were both in the game, but they weren't in the game as deep as he was. Like this nigga was like 10, 15, 20 million up in the dope game. And that 95% of what Pusha T and them was rapping was his shit. That's what he said on there. Even though, again, he said them niggas was in the game, they just wasn't the high level that they rapped about. He was the high level shit. And so he kind of, Pusha T talked about how he was disappointed in that. Because the dude had his Twitter name on his hat, which looks nasty as fuck. And then nigga Pusha like, bro, I know this nigga, bro. He got his handle on his hat, bro. Like, I don't know that person. I don't know what the hell. And so his disappointment in that was telling.
He had a bar that saw him, and you're right. I don't want to take anything away from what you said. You're absolutely right. And I saw that Vlad interview, and it was interesting. The title, it was like Pusha T's manager. That's how it was titled.
Of course, yeah.
We already know how nasty Vlad is, so that ain't
Facts.
even a thing. Like,
but that's gonna get you to click, bro. You don't know who that nigga is.
That's what made me click on it. Like,
Yeah,
you know how I feel about Vlad. I'm not even looking at that. Well, whoever it is from Virginia, I'm not even checking it out. But like you said, I'd always wondered about that story.
Facts.
And I looked at it. I watched maybe 45 minutes of it.
Yeah.
And I took away from it essentially what Pusha T is saying. Even before I ain't even see the Charlamagne interview that you're talking about or any of that. But I heard him talking and I was like, oh, okay, I see what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
I see what this is. And Vlad stringed him as he do right down the road.
Yep.
But to my point of what we were talking about with being 3-4 layers and him being Chris Paul, he started the album off addressing that. And for people that know, like he put dude right in his place and let you know what it was. He say, what you would pay 16, I would pay 18. Even when I paid 22, it was the same thing. And then he was talking about how, yeah, you had it for a cheaper price. And this is Franklin's situation with Snowfall. Because you knew Teddy, nigga, didn't make you no more of a gangster than me. It don't make you no more of a big dog than me or none of that, my nigga. As we seen with Louis coming and stealing his plug. Yeah, so all Pusha T was saying was, yeah, you had them for a cheaper price, but it was my niggas moving it. You was moving it in my hood. Without me, you would have just been a nigga getting dope for 16 a key.
Yeah.
So he pretty much, and like you said, you went the long route. Pusha T took the short route and knocked it out in 4 bars. Like, and started the album off with it, and he doubled back with it a little later in the song. But like that let me know everything that I needed to know with that bar. When he's like, "Oh, you would pay 16, I would pay 18," and you thought because you was getting it cheaper that you go do that Vlad interview, and then everything you said. But yeah, I agree with you 100%. And that's how cold he is, though. Because as soon as I heard that on Brown, I knew before he even got to the Vlad, boy, I'm like, oh, he talking about dude on the whatchamacallit, because that's what I got from him.
Yep.
All dude was saying in that whole interview was like, well, I had him for this, and then I would get him Pusha T, and then they would essentially sell him. So me being a person that tend to know, like, oh, okay, well, you just the nigga that had the drugs. Like, what are you talking about? It'll make you no more of a G, my nigga, but that's getting hung up on semantics. Back to the Pusha T album. Just want to clarify that because that is a dope little pullout that you said there.
Yeah, and let's be clear: the Instagram handle on your hat is nasty. That's disgusting. That's first off. Second off, Brambleton is the street that they used to hustle on. That's he explained that on Charlamagne shit too. But with that being said, I ain't gonna lie, that interview was interesting though, because as the story goes, he ended up doing time and he became an informant, of course. Because they tried to apparently he said they tried to get his kids and wife put, you know how he
talks about it. He Pusha T talk about it on Snitch.
But see, he said Snitch wasn't about him. Did you get to that part?
I ain't seen the interview. I thought that he was talking about dude on Snitch. It's not.
He said he called because he was locked up when that came out, and he said he called Pusha, and Pusha was like, "Bro, that's not about you." Because dude was locked up when that happened, when that came out. He said that in the Vlad interview. He did. Yeah, it was one of them clips. Yeah. I'm watching clips. I'm just clicking on whatever if the headline is interesting, I'm gonna click it and give it 30 seconds. And if it's interesting, I'm gonna watch the rest of the clip.
I mean, yeah, but check that Charlamagne video out now.
Yeah, it was straight, man. It was good. He got super emotional. You know, he lost both his parents in like 2 months apart. Oh wow. And so he barely made it through that part talking about
Pusha T or the guy, Pusha T? The manager guy. Really? No, I didn't know he lost his mom and his dad.
Yeah, that shit was some slaw. Wow. But it was still a good
that's interview. Getting really in depth, and that's what we do and get to do with Southern artists on the On Deck TV show. Back to what we loved about the album for me, Brambleton. Off the Wham, loved it. Like I said, it broke that Vlad interview down, gave me some stuff that I wanted to know and was right out the bat. Neck and Wrist, Hove murders it. Dreaming of the Past, absolutely loved it. Just So You Remember. Diet Coke, it was just because I heard it single so much and listened to it, it just didn't fit, but it still works. It transitions well. And man, do you want to get into your what worked before? Because I got a rant about one of the other ones that worked for me that would have been a moment too, since we were talking about them earlier. Do you want to talk about
hold on. I'm just gonna give you 3. I really like that Just So You Remember. I thought that sample was fire. Call My Bluff. The second verse was stupid. And then I like that Open Air. I thought that shit was fire too. But the whole tape riding though. Let's be clear. What you got though?
I'm gonna ruin Rock and Roll for you.
That's banging.
It is.
That's
but
banging.
imagine the lighter flicking and Tunchi being on there. You're talking about a moment. Let's put all the beef behind us. Tell me this ain't a Lil Wayne beat like '04 when he was murdering shit. Well, that would have been it. That would have been what people would have been talking about all summer. Pusha T had been like, look, I don't care. You can diss me on here, whatever it be. You just need to be on this song.
That'd have been a
like,
moment.
This is a Lil Wayne beat. You can do what you did to that Mike Jones on here, whatever. Please just do it for the culture. I don't even like you, my nigga. I don't like nobody over there, but here go the rest of the beat. Just take off on it, dude. Just don't put Drake and Nicki on it. Just don't do that. Just give me some '04 Wayne. Like, this shit was made for him, dude. That shit would have been big.
No, that's true.
Every time I hear that now, I think about that. I was like, oh my God, Wayne would have fucking.
That's a good point. That's a missed opportunity, but it's too many layers to it, because then you got the Drake layer.
Baby, you got the baby layer.
Yeah, you got the Birdman layer. It's too many layers, and that's a shame.
That would have made it a moment. Like, I agree. Nigga, just think if you had heard that lighter flick on there, you'd have been like, no way.
I ain't gonna hold you. That might have made it a classic. Man, I ain't bullshitting.
Listen to
that might have made it a classic, bro.
God, I was just weird. I was like, oh my God, Wayne would have fucking killed this nigga.
That's how you make. That's the element of a classic, though. It's got to have a moment.
That's from our era. That's like Ether. That's like when H to the Izzo with the Michael Jordan jersey on at the BET Awards. Yep. That's like I Ain't Mad at You. That's like fucking California Love or Juicy. That's what that would have been, dude. Yeah. Like Wayne coming out of nowhere and completely eating that up. And again, even if you dissing the nigga or whatever, just being on that song and the layers that go with it, but being like, fuck it, this for the culture. Like, that shit would have been fire, man.
I agree. If I had to go with things that were kind of low lights, I'm nitpicking because I rock with the album heavy, but I didn't like Kanye's bars at the end of Dreaming of the Past. I thought that was, I don't know what that was, dude. Like, he sounded like he had COVID, bro. Like, I was like, bro, why are you rapping, bro? You need sleep. He sounded like he was sleep deprived.
Some biased.
Yeah, that wasn't. That was pointless. I like what he did on that Rock and Roll, but that was pointless on Dreaming of the Past. And Uzi didn't fit on Scrape It Off.
Uzi ripped that.
No, he didn't. No, he
didn't. Ripped that. I'm mad at
you. I'm not mad at it, but Twitter was weighing him out, dude. They were like, bro, I want to know where that collab came from, dude. It just, I'll take Don Toliver. I thought he killed the hook, but I would have just took two Pusha T murdered that song.
Jesus,
I would have just rather had two Pusha T verses, bro. Like, I didn't need the fucking Uzi one time about no. He had a line on it that was kind of hard, and that was it though. He was
the Buzz Lightyear line was hard.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. No,
I'm out of you and Twitter. For
and
me,
Malice too. My last holiday was Malice. Malice murdered that fucking song.
We'd be remiss not to mention that.
Yeah, he murdered that.
Murdered that. Jesus Christ. For me, what didn't work, I didn't like the boom bap let Smoker shine the coops.
That was okay.
That was okay.
It was okay.
Again, everything else was such high level.
That's true.
That's nitpicking for me, but that just didn't like. That's the one. If I'm letting it play and I put it on, that I kind of roll my eyes at. Like,
yeah.
You know, but like fair. You said, it's Pusha T though. It fits Pusha T. It wasn't him trying to do too much, but that's pretty much it that I had for didn't work.
Only thing I wish I hadn't heard, I hate when an album is 12 tracks and you don't heard 3 of them. Like the Neck and Wrist had already came out, the Diet Coke had already came out, and then that Hear Me Clearly was on the Nego album like 2 weeks ago. So I was like, we done got used to
Hear Me not to be heard. You're right.
Bro, I'm like, not be heard. I'm like, bro, I need 12 new. I need this to be fresh, dude. Nigga don't wait years, nigga. Like, I don't want nothing I done heard before.
Hit me with no 9-piece with 3 bonuses, nigga. Like, you just dropped a 7-piece light on us. This needed to be 14 songs, to be honest, which we need the deluxe with 14 songs ASAP with that Wayne feature. Now, please and thank you.
If you order a shirt along with the digital album, it comes with 3 bonus tracks.
Hopefully it ain't no Kanye shit. And
so
Wayne
who knows?
Surprise will be enough for people.
What final rating do you give it?
I'm going high, man. I'm going 4.5.
Ooh, superb.
Yep, superb.
You liked it better than Daytona?
I thought Daytona was a classic.
Mm,
Did I rate that 5 reels? Like
I
I
don't
had to
know.
rate that 5 reels. I thought that even if I didn't, I do now. Like 5 going back, that's nasty album right there.
It
Just
is.
so short. But yeah, I think this 4.5. It's right there with Daytona.
I agree.
With give or take like 1 or 2 songs, and maybe if Daytona had 1 or 2 more songs, and I feel the same way. But it's right there with it.
Yeah, I'm gonna
What do
go
you rate?
high. I'm gonna say it's superb. It's 4.5. And but the tiebreaker to me is just the length of, I mean, it's just the length of the project. That was 7 songs. This was 12.
12. Yeah.
So by default, that's the tiebreaker in my opinion on this. I'm putting it over it just slightly. But it's listen, it's good to see him in this stage of his career. And he even said this on Charlamagne. He's like, bro, I'm 44, bro. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to get to the point where hip hop is like where nigga the fucking U2 and like you can still make age appropriate music, meaning you're not expecting to see Pusha T jump around the stage like he Travis Scott, you know what I'm saying, or whatever.
Right.
Like he can still do this in a venue. He going on tour. I might pull up to that motherfucker. I'm hot. The Atlanta one sold out. I slept.
Sold out.
Super hot about that.
Where is it at?
I don't have me lying. I can't remember what venue. I ain't gonna remember. I don't remember. But I like this is music that he could perform. Like you said, we just talked about the R. Kelly and Jay. That was 20 years ago, and niggas was like,
Right.
"Damn, I wish that we could go to something right now, dude."
Yo, today.
He's making shit like that, bro. So I think that's dope, bro. So I got to give it a high rating, man. Tell us what y'all thought, though, man. Leave a comment at On Deck TV Show on Instagram, or if you're listening on YouTube, leave a comment. Let us know what you thought about this Pusha T album. Are we gassing it, or is it fire like how we saying, man? Let us know. We got some wins and some losses. W or L to your man Bobby Shmurda. Oh, he said he's taking 6 months off from sex. Oh man.
And he's advising against tongue ring.
Oh my God.
Fellatio.
Oh my God.
Any more depth, but he's just taking 6 months off.
You don't need to go no more in depth than that. That's way too much information. We can put 2 to 2 together, dude.
I mean, it might be a W for him, man. Maybe he can clear his head up, man. That takes 6 months of celibacy.
That is anything but a W, sir. Golly. He's probably taking him 6 months off by force, nigga, not by choice.
Well, it is by force because he got injured.
Oh my God. All right, moving on quickly. W or L, man, Fab. A video of Fab in the club. He let a woman fall asleep on his shoulder in the club.
That's a big L, man. I'm letting her fall. I ain't going home and explaining that to my wife and kids, man. This bitch, get off me.
I know he's still hearing about that today, nigga.
Yeah, today, nigga. He probably had to sleep on the couch and everything. He trying to play that shit off. Well, he got a couple of rules, but he ain't sleeping in the master that night.
Another one, man. W or L. DJ Academics and Joe Budden's reunited for 2 different shows. DJ Academics was on Joe Budden's show, and Joe Budden was on DJ Academics' show. Man, is that a W for the reunion?
Oh yeah, that's a W, man. I ain't mad at Ak and Joe. They had a pretty great run with him and the desk and the little show. Excuse me, not the little show. I said I was gonna stop doing that, but their show was a moment in the culture. Good to see them back in the saddle and working together again. What do you think?
Yeah, I saw a clip of Joe on Ak's podcast, and they talked about why Joe left. You know, the rumor was Joe was asking for equity in Complex.
Oh yeah.
That was the rumor, and Joe cleared that up. He said that's not true. He said what I was asking for. He said they were paying him $22,000 a month.
Yeah.
And when they went to go renegotiate, they offered him 40, and he wanted 50, and they wouldn't offer him 50. So since they wouldn't go past 40, that's why he quit.
40 grand a month to do that. What's that?
5 days a week.
What is it a week?
That's a lot a week.
$10,000 a week.
Nigga, that's actually no. Was that 4 days or 5 days?
It was 4 days.
That's 10 grand a week then.
Jesus Christ.
For those counting at home, that is 480,000 a year. And he turned that down. He wanted 50 a month.
Some nice numbers, man. Something to strive for in this podcast game, ain't it?
Hey, listen, if you're in a
Sheesh.
position where you can turn down 480,000 for an hour podcast, I can't do nothing but respect that.
Yeah, that's big because he walked away from that and Spotify. Like Joe stand
That's
on his
true.
one thing. You can hate Joe Budden all you want to, man, his opinions or whatnot, but he stand on his morals. I respect
That's a
the
fact.
shit out of that for him. Like if he ain't fucking with you or how you feel like he should be treated as a creative, he ain't sticking around. Like
That's a
he
fact.
know his worth. That nigga know his worth, boy.
That's
Jesus.
nuts.
Yeah.
Bonus W or L to Rick Ross. He's got a car show that's coming up around the corner. He was on Breakfast Club promoting it. Tickets start at $250 for his car show.
Mm,
In comparison to DJ Envy, those were about $20.
mm.
Now, the car show is at his house. It's at the Promised Land out here in Fayetteville, Georgia. Is that a W or an L?
The fact that he called his home the promised land is one
That's
hilarious.
nuts.
The second fact is you have to see that Breakfast Club interview. It is fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
It's funny as hell. But yeah, man, this is worth it. The 250 for this is worth it, especially how Rick Ross is explaining it. I think me and you talked about it maybe, or my homie and my homeboy Scoops was talking about it. It's a networking event. You win the big boy diamond key that's worth like 20 grand if your car get there. But this also, so the DJ Envy stuff is a family thing. This is a thing where like car enthusiasts go to. And 250 cuts out a couple of things, like one, kids and people that you like, we in here talking for real. And if somebody in there, like I just spent $250 for a ticket, if I want to say, hey man, how much you charging for your car? You know I'm legit. Like I ain't in here like I ain't paid $10 for no ticket and just talking out my ass. Like I feel like the stuff like this is appropriate. We need to start doing it more in our culture, aka cutting out some riffraff or whatnot. Because I mean, the air conversation ain't for everybody. So I respect this. Like it's cool.
And you don't want everybody at your house.
And you don't want everybody at your house. So you know if a nigga spending $250, they got some sense.
Yeah, you would hope.
Show. You would hope so.
If you want to enter your car at $750 starting off.
It's a business investment. I would look at it like if I'm spending $250 on this, I can go in here and network $250 worth of deals. I'll be able to do something and make $250 back.
I'm not gonna lie. Shout out to I was talking to a cat who owns a lot of Porsches. He's like a Porsche enthusiast. Mm-hmm. And he said all the time that his car is like a metal business card. Yeah. That he has brokered deals just off of having a Porsche.
Having a car. Mm-hmm.
That's it. Like he's seen other people with Porsches and they were like, and they spark up a convo and that's done turned into 6-figure deals, bro. Hey, no lie.
Oh, really? Oh man, I'm looking for a
because it's a certain level when you look at, bro, when you know what it takes to get something and you see somebody else with it, when you pull up in the yacht and the motherfucker next to you in the yacht, and you know what it took to get that, dude. There's nothing, motherfucker not a slouch on the
legit,
yacht,
right?
Bro.
You know something like, okay, what you got going on? Because
I got something
going on too. And maybe we can have something going on together where we can make some bread. Facts.
Oh shit. On Decker of the week. With that being said, I will not be at the car show.
Yeah, with that being said, I ain't the car guy. If this was another type of convention though, I would definitely check it out. But I ain't the car. Like I ain't finna be there buying no cars. I ain't doing none of that. But if it was another type of convention, $250 worth it though. Like it was something that I was interested in.
Yeah, I rolled by his crib like 2 days ago, and you could see the army green tank thing that he just.
That's funny.
You can see it from the street. It's hilarious.
That's funny.
On Deck of the Week, man. New subscriber to YouTube, man. Shout out to Rocky, ROCCY. Appreciate the new subscription. Make sure y'all hit up youtube.com/OnDeckTV. Hit that subscribe button. Check out the video, man. Hit that like and leave a comment while you're there too. Fuck it. What you got for the put on this week, man?
For the put on this week, I got a podcast and a book. The book is from the Freakonomics Radio Book Club. I sent it to you. It's Why Do Most Ideas Fail to Scale?
I listened to that. That was dope.
Love that interview. It's an interview with John List. He wrote a book called The Voltage Effect. And it's just basically going over how scaling has happened throughout history, how things grow. I'm very interested in as far as business, growing this network and us doing what we do. So I just thought it was a dope conversation. If you're into content creation, you're into just growing a business in general, this is good information to have. It's the Freakonomics Radio Book Club. Why do most ideas fail to scale? episode number 14. The name of the book is called The Voltage Effect by John List.
Yeah, that was super dope. It was a good episode. My put on this week, it's a great entertainment weekend this weekend, dude. We got the NFL draft. We got the future new album, should be very entertaining. And then we got that Ozark series finale that drops on Friday. That's 3 for 3, nigga. I'm in the crib all motherfucking weekend, and I can't wait for it. So my put on is not doing a goddamn thing and soaking in some good entertainment, hopefully. Is there any way possible they dropped the ball on this Ozark? It's impossible. It ain't no way.
Hard to see, but you know, they were slick already. They showed us the end, like the wreck. We never, like, did you even think about the wreck? Have you rewatched it?
Oh, yeah, the opening car scene. But how does it, but that ain't an end. We don't know what that is.
What if they die right there, though? What if it ended? Would you be hot if it ended that way?
I would be steamed if they
really.
If that was the very last scene and they died in that car wreck, that'd be some slaw. After all of this shit, nigga, they done went through hella goons, nigga, cartel members, nigga, assassins, crazy rednecks, and you die in a car wreck in a minivan that's probably the highest rated safety minivan in the world, nigga. You dying in that? I'd be hot.
That's fine. I tell you what not to do. If you don't want to know, don't go on Reddit, because Reddit will figure that shit out, nigga, in a day. I was following the Severance Reddit thread, nigga. I stopped going on it after about the first and second episode. They figured something out after the second episode that I didn't realize until the very end. The credits was rolling, nigga. I was listening to a review show and it was like, yeah, Reddit pretty much figured this out by the third episode. I was glad I quit reading that shit because I was dumb surprised, nigga. I didn't see none of that coming. They be invested. Sleuths is on Reddit, nigga.
I seen Ben Stiller said he found the dude who did the music for Severance on Instagram.
Really?
Thought that was kind of dope.
Shit creepy as hell. You ain't watched it yet, have you?
Not yet.
Music add, whoever that dude is a piece of music add to it too. You'd like the show. 100%.
I'm gonna check it out.
I'm gonna check it out. Up your alley.
Man, y'all fuck with your boy, man. We are out. We appreciate you tapping in. Make sure you subscribe. cop a t-shirt too. Link is in the description. And we appreciate you for supporting the real.
Yeah, quit delaying. Go cop some shirts now. Oh, they sell.
Sir.